So now you got your coolers full of venison. What are you going to do with it? We'll consider those options today. Wild, natural venison from a natural environment are nutritious, delicious, and wholesome. A lot of people don't understand how different it is cooking with wild game, especially venison. Today I'm going to show you two wonderful recipes utilizing classic whitetail venison from northern Michigan. This beautiful backstrap loin, and we've got some gorgeous ground venison that we're going to turn into a fabulous chili. So let's get started with this backstrap. The first thing we want to do is marinate it. And it's so easy to do in a chamber machine like VacMaster's VP112. I'm just going to put the venison directly in the bag utilizing this pouch holder, and then I'm going to go ahead and add our ingredients. A little bit of fresh garlic that's been crushed, some olive oil, and I'm going to add some rosemary, some fresh thyme, some freshly crushed ginger, some bay leaves that I'm just going to break up inside the bag to release those flavors. That's very important. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients. We're going to add some beer. This is a beautiful nut brown ale, and then a little bit of maple syrup. It's going to give it wonderful sweetness, but also that unique classic maple flavor, as well as a little bit of soy and some Worcestershire sauce. Lay it in the machine right over the seal bar. Bring it down and start it up. The beep tells me it's ready, and there you have a beautiful marinated venison loin. See how pretty that is? Now, the best way to do this after this point is to go ahead and cut it out of the bag. And before we put it on the grill, we want to dry it off because all that marinade will create lots of smoke and havoc. And gently put my venison right down. We're at a nice medium. At this point, we want to remove the meat from the grill and let it rest on our cutting board. It's so incredibly lean that if you cook it beyond medium or well done, it can become frighteningly dry. To go along with our venison, I've got some fantastic vegetables, and they've been all cooked in the new method of sous vide in vacuum packed pouches. And this is a wonderful way to entertain because you can have all your food done in advance and simply reheat it, and it doesn't lose anything in the reheating process. There you have it, this gorgeous grilled Michigan whitetail venison loin. And now we come to the ground venison, and I love chili, and whitetail venison chili is one of my favorites. So I've already gotten started here, and in this wonderful casserole I've got my ground venison, and you can see it's coarsely ground, or what they call a chili grind. And with that, I've got some red onions that are coarsely chopped, and these are cooking together in a little bit of lard, and that's giving it wonderful flavor. Now we want to add the chili spice blend at this point, and it's best to toast it. I'm going to sprinkle it right into the well in the center, right into that fat, and then a little bit of chipotle chili. And now a little bit of tomato paste, and that's going to add some nice thickness to our chili. And some chopped diced tomatoes, and just going to go ahead and pour that in. We need a little bit more liquid, so why not some artisan beer from the Great Lakes state. We've got a nice dark amber ale that we're going to pour right in, and those beer flavors are going to meld perfectly. Along with these bay leaves that I'm just going to crunch up a little bit and put in, I've got what really makes my chili wonderful, and that is some bittersweet or lightly sweet baking chocolate. We're just going to sprinkle that right inside. So now we want to have this cook for about 2.5 to 3 hours at a low simmer covered. But every half an hour, another secret is to add a little bit of this. This mysterious powder is masa harina. It's corn flour. And I like just to sprinkle a little in every half hour or so by the teaspoon and slowly stir it into the base. What that's going to do is help thicken the chili, but also give it that wonderful corny flavor because it is corn flour. And now my chili's ready to eat, but one of the great benefits of the VacMaster chamber machines is being able to portion and freeze this for later use or refrigerate. So I'm just taking my venison chili that we've already prepared and it's already cooled and placing it in this particular size bag. So now I've got a nice portion of chili. I'm going to go ahead and place it into our machine and start it up. And look at that. So after your chili has been vacuum packed, you can simply reheat it either in a microwave or like I just did in some simmering water. Here I've got some beautiful pinot beans, drunken pinot beans with beef jerky, a dollop of fresh sour cream right over the top, and then some white cheddar cheese grated is perfect accompaniment to this. You can really go in any direction, whatever you like. If you wanted to throw on some crispy corn chips, that would be fine. A little bit of green onion for a little bit of color and just that little extra added kick, and maybe some limes to add that little bit of heightened flavor from the citrus. So there you go, my venison chili, my whitetail venison chili from northern Michigan with drunken jerk pinot beans. Using VacMaster chamber machines, I can increase the shelf life of refrigerated items up to 3 to 5 times. I can freeze without worrying about freezer burn or dehydration. I can save money by buying in bulk and portioning in smaller parcels.